Procedural materials are awesome because you can zoom in and they do not lose detail unlike image textures. You don't have to worry about UVs as it uses object coordinates, and last but not least, it is easily converted into a different texture. In the previous tutorial I laid down several node shortcuts, and in this tutorial we are going to use them extensively. I will be repeating them throughout the process while we are going to make this procedural stone material. First I am going to press Shift 1. Which is a custom shortcut I made, and it brings in a noise texture. I will add in a color ramp by pressing Ctrl Q, which is also a custom shortcut. Connect them both and select the noise texture. We can press Ctrl Shift left mouse button to preview the nodes. I'm changing some values on the noise texture. Detail up, roughness up, and we can do the scale later. Now press Ctrl T to make a texture coordinate and mapping node. Plug the object into the vector so that the texture is correctly calculated. Play around with the color ramp sliders for a desired result. One trick that I forgot to mention in the shortcut video is the one where we select what we need. But instead of duplicating it and connecting the lines manually, we are going to press Ctrl Shift D, which makes sure that the lines stay connected. You can reset a color ramp by clicking on this button and pressing on reset. Select both color ramps and press Ctrl 0. It creates a mix RGB. I will set it to multiply with a value of 1. We can play around with the settings of the noise texture. In order to keep things nice and tidy, I'll select these nodes that are our base color and press Shift P. This creates a frame. Give it a name and a color. Shift 1, Shift 2 and Shift 3 to bring in the noise, Musgrave and Voronoi textures. Select them all and press Shift IS. This will align them with even spacing. Select all nodes and connect them to the mapping node by selecting it last and pressing K. Plug the noise into the vector of the Musgrave and the Musgrave into the scale of the Voronoi. Decrease the randomness on the Voronoi texture. Increase the Musgrave scale and detail, but decrease the dimension to 0.8. For the noise texture we'll decrease the scale, but increase the detail and roughness. I'll place a color ramp right here just in case we need it later on. Select the color ramp and the mix RGB node and press Ctrl 0. This will make a new mix node. I'll set it to multiply once again and increase the factor to 0.9. Play around with the color ramps to get the desired result. I'll add in a bump node and plug the color ramp into it. Now I'll quickly keep things organized by using Shift right mouse button. It creates hubs so that we can connect everything and keep everything nice and clean. I'll give the other textures a frame as well. Decrease the strength of the bump to 0.7 and duplicate it. Now I'm going to grab this line and connect it to the height. If you want to make moss for on the rock, duplicate the multiply node and place it before the principal BSDF. We have to create a mask for this node to operate on, because we only want moss on certain areas. So let's bring a noise texture in and a color ramp. Plug the color ramp into the vector of the mix RGB and set the second color to green. Play around with the color ramp and noise settings. I put the scale to 0.86, detail to 15 and dimension to 0.33. Now we've got a small layer of moss. If you want the moss to have bump, then duplicate the bump map and place it right here. Use the same noise and color ramp that we used as the factor for the moss as the height in the new bump map. Set the strength to whatever you like. If you want to make quick and dirty stones without going into edit mode each time to adjust it manually, add a UV sphere and put a subdivision modifier on it. Set it to adaptive. Now add a displace modifier and go over to the texture tab. Press new and set it to clouds. Voronoi F2 is what I used. You can play around with the scale and the depth. Now go back to the modifier itself and set the coordinates to global. Now the displacement will differ depending on the global position. If you duplicate them and scale them, they will automatically change and you can easily build out a rock scene. Of course there are better methods to do this, but this is a quick and dirty way of making stones real quickly. The good thing is the UVs don't stretch, because we have made a procedural material, and because it is set to object coordinates, it works flawlessly. I like the way the material looks. However, it would be nice if we could also store this material somewhere so we can use it again in the future and don't have to recreate it each time we dive into a new project. And that's what we're going to do in the next video about the asset browser. So if you have been avoiding the asset browser for a long time, I highly recommend watching that video, and these 3 minutes can save you countless of hours in the future. So if you like this video, consider subscribing and I'll see you in the next one.